appreciate these gentlemen doing this service. It helps a lot of folks.
Thank you.
But,
You're welcome. Thank you.
My wife was involved in an accident on Mother's Day. We were on our way. We were trying to get to church a little early and came to a four-way stop sign. And next thing we knew was we were spinning around in our vehicle. And when we came to a complete stop, a lady was yelling at us. It's my fault. It's my fault. I'll pay for everything. I'll pay for everything. And she wanted us to move our car. Well, my wife tried to crank the car. I said, no, leave it alone. Leave it alone. Let's call the police. We got to get the police out here. And she hollered, I don't have any insurance. I don't have any insurance. So my wife was eventually taken to the hospital. She was only in there a few hours. She'd gone into a mild seizure. And it was minimal physical bodily damage, but the car is undrivable. And we took it to a lawyer, and when you were referring earlier to a police report, well, they wrote up my police report. They wrote up our police report wrong. We were hit so hard that it spun the car 180 degrees around, and we ended up in the wrong lane going the wrong direction.
Okay, Tony, I'm going to pause you right there and sort of let the attorney sort of weigh in. This is probably something that you've heard of before, Ken, as far as where does he need to move forward now?
Well, it sounds like a couple things come to mind, guys. It sounds like, number one, perhaps if she doesn't have insurance, and hopefully you've got what's called UIM, uninsured or underinsured motorist coverage. If you don't, anybody out there watching, please call your insurance agent tomorrow morning and ask them about it. It's very inexpensive, and it protects the people in your vehicle in case you get hit by somebody that unfortunately does not have insurance, and that's about 30% of the people out there right now, unfortunately. So, you know, he asked about the accident report. Well, you can file an amendment to the accident report. It sounds like more of a practical issue there. If somebody does have seizure-like activity, that's a serious condition. It doesn't matter if it's little physical injury. That's not what causes that type of reaction. That has to do with your brain. TBIs, traumatic brain injuries, those are very serious, and they have to be treated. And they're also something for legal consideration. So it looks like where you're going to have to point to is, number one, you're going to have to make sure that she does not have insurance. You can't just take somebody's word for it. And number two, you're going to have to look into that UIM. You've seen another lawyer always say get a second opinion, but David, any final thoughts on that?
You hit it on the head. UIM coverage, the benefits, potential benefits far outweigh the cost.
All right. Well, thank you, David, for coming in on the show. We appreciate it. David Scott and Ken Riley. Thank you for calling in with your questions and comments, and join us next week for another edition of Law Call. We'll see you next Sunday.